All right, this is a review on let me get it right here. This is a review on WrestleMania 29. I know I'm super late. This thing came out a month ago, and well, yeah. Let's get into it. First off, this is probably gonna be the only wrestling review on the channel due to the fact I'm no longer a wrestling fan. I watch it here and there, but I'm not a wrestling fan that do it consistently no more. Ever since Raw went 3 hours, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't watch Raw for 3 hours when it's not entertaining. I can't watch Raw when I get bad matches. I can't even watch Raw when The Rock is on. Look, ever since The Rock came back, he's been doing promos. I'm like, okay. But here's the thing. He does promos mostly by himself. I'm like, I didn't like The Rock when he did, when I remember The Rock, he did promos not because he was good on talking on the mic. He did promos because he was good at interacting with other people. I didn't get that. I didn't get it this year. I sure as hell didn't get it last year, even though the build-up last year was hell of a lot better than this year. Anyway, let me go off and say WrestleMania 29 was absolutely awful. One of the worst WrestleManias I saw. Now, no, I did not pay for this shit. I heard $70. Said, fuck that shit. I ain't paid for it because they didn't build it up right. If they built it up, I would have paid for it. But if I would have paid for it, I would have done a rant on this video a month ago for the bullshit they gave us. As you can clearly see, the matches on this card, every match on here pretty much sucked except for CM Punk and The Undertaker. I'm sorry, that match right there was the match of match of the night. I will even say the match of the year. I haven't seen a match that good, this whole year other than CM Punk and The Undertaker. Punk and Undertaker had a great match, told a good story in the ring. I was impressed with the match. The crowd was into it. I was into it when I was watching it on a computer. So yeah, I give that match pretty much an 8 out of 10. And also that match saved the night. If you haven't noticed. Triple H Brock Lesnar match. If Brock would have won, I would have cared. Reason being, Triple H should never won this match. It made no sense to me. Brock Lesnar should have won. Reason being, because Triple H is backstage. He does backstage politics. Yeah, it's politics. He does backstage politics now. So, I mean, he's not really a wrestler anymore. And it wouldn't make sense for having Brock Lesnar to lose because he's going to be on TV more often this whole year. So I'm like thinking to myself, this ain't making no sense to me. But then again, this is Triple H. He's the King of Kings. He needs to have his win. So I don't give a damn. I thought the match was boring. Could have been a hell of a lot better, but it was boring. The Shield versus Big Show, Sheamus, and okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna call them Team WWE 2.0 because I'm gonna call them Team WWE versus Team WWE. No, versus members of the Breakfast Club because everybody in that match was the Breakfast Club. So the Shield did a good job. I was impressed with it. The whole Big Show at the end heel turn was bullshit. I don't know who came up with that idea, but he needs to be fired because that was bullshit. Randy Orton should have turned heel. We were hoping that. We were expecting that. A lot of people said Shield doesn't need a fourth member. If you ask me, Orton as a fourth member of the Shield, I would like that because Orton can bring a lot to the table. Some real him in that Shield outfit would look pretty badass on him. Plus, if anybody I think that can keep the Shield talked about is Randy Orton, part of the Shield. And also, Orton is a former main eventer, so if he goes for the WWE Championship, it makes more sense than Dean Ambrose did. Because I think what they did with Wade Barrett, they pushed him too fast, and John Cena just ate his ass up. Daniel Bryan versus Kane. Look, let me say this off the bat. Ziggler should have cashed in his World Heavyweight Championship that night. The following night on Raw was good, but he should have cashed in at WrestleMania. 1, it gave him a WrestleMania moment. 2, he'll be the first guy to ever done that. 3, he would have got over. I don't know why they didn't do it. It's the booking team. They're retarded. Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger. I hate to say the match was boring. Could have been a hell of a lot better, but it was just boring. Ryback versus Mark Henry. Yeah, it went too long. The match could have been hell of a lot better, but it went too long. and for Mark Henry to win the match, and then following that on Raw for them not to continue, for not them to continue the feud was kind of stupid. I'm thinking to myself, well, if they're not going to continue the feud, why did Mark Henry needs to win? I'm going to get to The Rock later on with that whole situation. Fandango versus Chris Jericho. Out of the whole pay-per-view, the only one I think who really benefited from this pay-per-view was Fandango, because the following night on Raw, he had the whole ovation, and he's the only one I think got over. Ryback, he didn't get over as much as we thought, but you could tell in the weeks. Like I said, I talked about Triple H versus Brock Lesnar match. Yeah, I did. It could have been better. Brock Lesnar should have won. Triple H should have stayed. Should have said, you know what, I'm going to take the bump for this time. Now they're doing a few Extreme Rules. Now I'm thinking to myself, okay, wouldn't it make more sense for Triple H to lose? Okay, here's my thing. A matter of fact, I'm going to think of this like a storyline. This is how I would have done Brock Lesnar versus Triple H. Reason being, Triple H lose at SummerSlam. He did. Okay, cool. That's in the record books. Brock Lesnar beat Triple H at WrestleMania. That's in the record books. That means Triple H is gone. He's no longer the CEO. He's no longer a WWE superstar. It's over. Okay. Now, remember back in 2009 when Randy Orton and Triple H had a feud, and Triple H wanted revenge, so he went to his house. What if they did the same thing with Brock Lesnar with Triple H? Triple H go to his house so he could get his rematch with Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar came in and said, give us his match so we can have another match in a steel cage. Would have a great storyline, would you not? Yes, it would have a great storyline. And I'm thinking to myself, why didn't it go on that route? WWE don't think outside the box no more. It's going to hurt them in the long run. Trust me. But it would have made total better story, and plus the Extreme Rule match would be the last match. I'm saying this right now. If this match continues on, I'm done. If this match continues on to another pay-per-view, I'm not watching it. I'm sorry. I might review Extreme Rules. I might not. But like I said, I'm no longer a wrestling fan. I don't watch this product daily, weekly anymore. I try to keep up with some of the stuff, but it's just nerve-wracking. This is probably my only video I will do for wrestling. If I do more, I doubt it, but if I do more, okay. But if I don't, I just don't. Now for The Rock versus John Cena. This match should have never, ever happened. This match right here was retarded. The booking for this match, okay, we all knew that John Cena was going to win. If John Cena was going to lose, it'll be a cold day in hell for him to lose. One Vince McMahon decided, you know what, let's do the match again at WrestleMania. That's just saying, John, you're going to win this one. John's going to win this one. It's the match itself. It was boring. But here's the thing about the match. I don't have a problem if you do it 2 times in a row. I don't, because I like matches like that. Shawn Michaels and Undertaker did it, and it was a good match. But here's the difference between that. The difference is, it was in a different type of match. The first match was in a singles match. The second match was in we must have a fucking winner match. In other words, disqualification counts. No disqualification, no anything. So pretty much, they were going all out, hitting people with chairs, beating each other up. This match did not have that. It was the same match from last year. I don't want the same old shit. I want something new. John Cena should have did what Shawn Michaels did in 2005 with Hulk Hogan. Turn heel. Why he didn't do it? Because you guys say, we don't have enough baby faces. What the fuck? Well, you create more fucking baby faces. Fuck. And John Cena needs to put somebody over as a fucking baby face. And you have a new baby face. I pray to God that Ryback beats the shit out of John Cena and beats him. Because if he does not beat him, that is it. No more. Ryback will never get over. John Cena will continue on being that baby face that fans hate, and the buy rates are going to get low. As a fan of this product, I am telling you, WWE, if you listen to this video, if I put it up, please let Ryback win. I don't like Ryback, but I prefer a new guy than this old, stale baby face. Do I hate John Cena the person? No, but after Extreme Rules, if he doesn't lose, yes, I will. I hate his character. His character is fucking boring. It doesn't make sense to me why he is still the same character for almost, 7, 8 years? God, it makes no sense. And Rock, you could tell Rock was hurting, and you could also tell Rock did not want to put this guy over. He did not. Not the way he did. No. He probably said to himself, "This is bullshit," and he left. Now people say, "Oh, Rock didn't leave the fans. Rock didn't do this." Rock left. Rock was pissed off. You could tell in the WrestleMania match he was pissed off. I'd be pissed off too because I had to put this guy over the way I had to. The match was stupid. The match had no pace. It felt like these guys were like doing it because they were told to do the same type of match. And here's hopefully WWE learns, but you know what? Like telling WWE they should learn from their mistake, they don't. They keep doing the same old shit. The crowd did not have a break. The CM Punk match and the Undertaker match is the only match throughout the whole night the crowd was interactive. That was it. Every other match, shitted on. They didn't care for Brock Lesnar versus Triple H. They didn't care for Rock versus Cena. Hell, people were tired. They were just cheering for the Rock and Cena so they could go home. They were cold. They were ready to go home. People said, "Oh no, they liked the match." No. They were ready to go the fuck home. That's what they were doing. They were ready to go home. I don't blame them. I was ready to go home, ready to turn this shit off too, because it was getting boring. I had to fast through her whole match because I said this match was boring. The CM Punk match versus the Undertaker, I watched that match through because it was really entertaining. The Brock Lesnar versus Triple H match, I turned that shit off. It took me a piss spray because that match was too boring. Mark Henry versus Ryback, like I said, was too long, and it should have been 5 minutes. Two guys like that need to do 5-minute matches. Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger, match was pretty short. No, it wasn't pretty short. I'm sorry. The match was okay, but could have been better. The following, weeks, after WrestleMania, they've been having better matches. People been telling me. So I've been looking on the internet. The matches were better than WrestleMania. I tell you, WWE keeps on letting these guys be too. I'm telling you, Fandango, Chris Jericho match, it was okay, and Fandango got the win out of it, and now he's pretty over. So I had no problem with that match. The Shield versus Team WWE 2.0. Had no problem with the match, but Big Show turning heel, I have an issue with. But like I said, I don't care. I don't really give a damn. Dolph Ziggler, Big E versus Daniel Bryan and Kane. I don't care. I really don't care. It would have been nice for Ziggler to win the title. I think he never won the tag team titles, nor the tag team titles. It would have been nice to have that, plus the World Heavyweight Championship. Oh, he would have been like an all-star champion. I would have probably forgave the WWE a little bit. But no. And he could lose it in a few weeks anyway. I mean, because the tag team titles don't mean shit no more. I mean, we don't need a long tag team champion. We just need, tag team champions that are consistent. Hopefully the Shield wins those belts and make it, great again. But until they get rid of those ugly ass tag team belts they got now, I don't think those belts will ever get their prestige back. But like I said, now to The Rock versus John Cena. The match sucked, and it could have been a hell of a lot better. Like I said, they need to change it up. They should have changed it up. John Cena should have been a heel. People say Rock should have been a heel. If Rock was a heel, I still would cheer The Rock because Rock is funny as a heel. Look at Rock in 2003 as a heel. He was fucking entertaining. That's entertainment. What John Cena does is not entertainment. It's called boredom. Bore fucking dumb. This match is look. John Cena can never, and then he said, I could show, saying on the interview that John Cena, prove to you that John Cena belongs in the Attitude Era. No, the fuck you don't. No, the fuck, not that character. Maybe that, that Marky Mark character, maybe. But the character you are now, fuck no. You suck. Fuck no. You suck on the mic. You don't rap no more. To me, when he was rapping, when he was rapping, he was entertaining because, he was rapping about society. It was pretty funny. But now he's not rapping. He's just constantly going to mic. And this year, his promos has gotten bad. It shows that John Cena he's not the so-called best on the mic as you see. Because this year he's been having bad promos after bad promos. Punk is still good on the mic. Punk and Taker was the great match of the night. I'd say this again. One match doesn't make a pay-per-view. But goddamn, this pay-per-view needed more matches like that one. I hate to say it. This was probably the worst WrestleMania. The worst build-up to WrestleMania. And it could have been a hell of a lot better for a WrestleMania. The only matches that I think I liked the outcome was The Shield and Team WWE. And probably Fandango and Chris Jericho. That's about it. even though I like, Taker, even though I like Taker versus Punk, I really think Taker should have won the match. I mean, I really think Punk should have won the match because one, I think it would have gave that nice rub to Punk, and plus it would end Taker's streak. But I knew Punk was going to end end the streak. Why? Because who's going to end the streak? The man that beat The Rock this year, John Cena. And don't say he's not. He is. Trust me, he is. He is. He is. Triple H, Undertaker's took on Triple H. He's beating Shawn Michaels. He's beating Batista. He's beating pretty much every star right now that has held a world title that's currently on the roster. He is beaten. The only person he has not beat is that Hulk Hogan wannabe, the C Nation Lita, that Thugonomics bull crap, the cerebral assassin ass kisser, John Cena. So I hate to say it, John Cena might end the streak. If hopefully it's not next year, but God knows the way Taker's been premiering lately. I think this is his last run, and John is gonna get the last one. And if so, all right then. That's all I gotta say. Rock versus John Cena, worst match of the night for me. Yeah, I gave this match a 2 out of 5. No, wait a minute. I gave Punk out of 7 out of 10. I'll give this match a 4 out of 10. Triple H versus Brock, 5 out of 10. Ryback versus Mark Henry. If it was shorter, I would have gave this probably a 6 out of 10, but 5 out of 10. Berto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger. 4 out of 10. Wasn't good. Fandango, just because I like the outcome, 6 out of 10. Shield versus Big Show, like I said, just because I like the outcome, 7 out of 10. And Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler. If Dolph Ziggler would have won the match, I probably would have gave it 7 out of 10, but it's a 5 out of 10. Pretty much the overall for this pay-per-view, I'm going to do this 1 out of 5. For the pay-per-view, I'm going, to 5 this one. The rate for this pay-per-view, shit. Yeah, well, I haven't, I didn't enjoy it, so 3 out of 5. Just that's still decent. No, fuck that. 2 out of 5. It don't even deserve a 3. 2 out of 5. This pay-per-view was awful. Overall, this is my only wrestling review. Like I said, I'm doing on this channel. If I do more wrestling reviews on this channel, it's probably TNA, because I know TNA's coming in the summer, and I remember last summer I enjoyed TNA with their wrestling. I enjoyed the storylines they were doing. I enjoyed Bobby Roode title reign and Austin Aries title reigns. I marked out for that. So you might see TNA reviews on there, on here. And if you see a WWE review, WWE must have had me hooked to something, but I doubt that. But yeah, I'll continue doing my summer movie reviews. This is my only wrestling review I'll probably do. I might do Extreme Rules just to see if Ryback beats John Cena, and that's it. If he doesn't, I'll do a review on that and I'll rant on it, and that's gonna be my last wrestling review. I will do Extreme Rules because that's gonna show me if WWE is going on the right track and make me keep doing these wrestling reviews. But overall, WrestleMania sucked balls. Was probably the worst WrestleMania experience, worst WrestleMania I've seen. And overall,